What makes your marriage work?
Oh, what makes our marriage work? I think it's that we both, they say marriage is 50-50, but I think sometimes one has to give 100% and the other one, sometimes when the other one can't give anything, one of us will figure it out that they have to give 100 and get the other one through.
My wife and love and trust.
What do you see as the strengths of your marriage?
Oh, the strength of our marriage is, I think, the love, the love we have for each other and for our family. I think it just, if we act silly and goofy on the outside, and sometimes we fight, but we, deep down, we're always there for each other.
I see strength in knowing I loved her from the beginning and I'll love her till the end.
What helps you love Dad even when you're mad at him?
Oh, some days it's tough, but I think what helps me when it gets down to it is that I told you this a long time ago. Find a man who will love you down to your toenails, even if you have no arms and legs. He'll push you in the wheelchair and still feed you and be nice to you. I think that's what really the bottom line is. No matter what, he's gonna be with me and love me.
Helps me if I relax and think about all the good things rather than being mad. If I could concentrate and if the Lord will give me patience.
How financially ready were you before children and marriage?
Oh my gosh, we weren't ready at all. I got married when I was 19 and Dad was 24, and he was in the middle of college, and I had just gotten out of high school a year before that, and I had just bought a car and a sewing machine, and we had nothing. We each had, I had a car that I was still paying on, and he had a little Volkswagen, so we weren't ready at all. But our first apartment, we had an overturned cardboard box. I tried to make it look good with a plastic tablecloth and said, look, nobody will ever know it's a box. They'll think it's a table. So no, we weren't ready at all, but we did fine as time went on. We did good.
0. That's it.
Which one of you was the first one interested in a romantic relationship?
He will tell you it was me. I will tell you it was both of us. He would always hang out by my desk. He would tell me that I could love you if only you were only 3 inches shorter. He would do all these little things that men do to let you know that they're interested, and of course I did things back to let him know that I was interested. So I think it was mutual. I really do. Even though we tease each other that he chased me or I chased him, I think it was pretty mutual. We found each other at a good time.
She was. She chased me until I caught her. It was an amazing experience.
What advice would you give your grandchildren about finding a mate?
Oh gosh. I know you gotta be attracted in the beginning for sure, somehow, some way, but don't get hung up on the looks, and certainly don't get hung up on money. It's all about their heart. And that's it. It's all about their heart. Will they love you down to your toenails and take care of your children and be silly when you need somebody to be silly? And John's silly plenty of times. That's it.
I would tell my grandchildren to look for somebody with a good, kind, loving heart, and somebody who you feel comfortable with and can trust.
Which one of you is smarter?
Which one is smarter? Our IQs are probably fairly equal, but he's up there doing a dance. I'm better. I'm better at computers, and I try to get A's all the time. So I work harder at things, but I don't know. I don't know who's smarter. I'm smarter in certain things. He's smarter in other things.
She is by far the most intelligent of the two of us. I think I've got better picking power though because I chose her. And that is where it all began and hopefully will end with us holding hands and loving each other forever and ever. Amen.
You fall in love with him all over again every time that you think about when you...
When I fell in love with him. Every time when Michelle was born, when you were born. He was, I think it's the first time I saw him cry. We were both so excited, and that was a good 10 years into our marriage, and you were the first that he was able to see. It's the way it was back then. But we were just both so excited, and so whenever I think about that, I realize how special it's been.
I fall in love with her all over again when I think of how she basically saved my life. I wasn't the smartest individual going down crazy lane, and then meeting her settled my life in and gave me a wonderful, beautiful family.
What do you know now about marriage that you didn't know when you got married?
How challenging it would be. I didn't even, as young as I was, I didn't really think about it that much. I knew my parents had a challenging marriage, but I thought I'd be different. And once I got into it, I realized, it's always going to be challenging, but worth it.
I know that marriage depends on loving one another no matter what happens, and trusting one another. Otherwise, a marriage doesn't have the strength it needs to survive. I think some of it is just the attraction you have to one another, but the other part is your heart grows together, and there's nothing that can separate it when you truly are in love. That's it.
What would you do with $1 million?
Oh gosh, I'd probably give most of it away. I'd probably take a little trip, buy a house on the lake in Michigan that we rent a house on, and there probably would be another $500,000 left after all that, and I'd probably sprinkle it around to my children and my nieces and nephews.
Spend it very wisely.
On what?
on, hopefully on vacations, on the family, on things that make life enjoyable. That's it.